us women are used to living in a disrespect. We are basically disrespected by a little bit our family and our surroundings. Later in work, we are disrespected by our colleagues, and we just take it as a normal thing. We just laugh at it, or we make a little subtle smile, and that's kind of it. And I'll tell you a story which really opened my eyes. And I have been dealing with this disrespect my whole life. And I really love men, you know. And it's not men's fault, but it's just programs which men have about women.
Also, men let themselves be mistreated and disrespected a lot.
Yeah.
And we just try to be nice and be friends with everybody. But then people will just walk all over us.
Yeah, we really try to be friends and polite, you know, and nice. And what we have from it is that if we don't show strong borders and like really firm, like I'm ending here and you're starting here and we are not going to go there. Even though if we are loving, if we are sort of say like spiritual people, we really have to keep these borders. And I never was taught how to do this. And so we are in a cruise, and we started to go to the restaurant where we have served meals. And the waiter started to be like, we thought it's very friendly, you know, everybody is from different cultures, so we apologize things, behavior and so on, how those people grew up, you know, how they had a childhood, and how he is then polite or unpolite. We don't even think about it because we think it's the way their culture is and so on. But if you're on the cruise ship or if you're anywhere, you are actually worthy to be treated properly, like very much with respect. And that's what we realized after we met our 80-year-old friend, which was like, it's a guy, and he's a very inspiring person who teaches us how to be approaching things differently, because he just is a very respected person and very friendly as well. He doesn't have to look like a poker face asshole.
He's super approachable. He's funny and witty, and we started to join him and his friends for dinner lately. And we see that the managers of the restaurant, they still walk around him, make sure that he's okay, that he's satisfied. They bring him whatever he needs. And
we thought it's just because he's an older person, but we realized that when we were having dinners, in our restaurant, and we tried to be friendly with our waiter, and then the waiter just senses, you know, so he started to talk about like men and women, and then started to be making fun that men are more than women, and then that we have to have a child, and still repeated like 2 days in a row that we should have a child. And after first day, I didn't even feel like going there. He has no idea what the woman is undergoing or what the couple is undergoing, if they are trying to have a child or if she's having some troubles with health, which is not allowing them to have child. And it's incredibly insensitive if you still repeat it. If you say it once or twice, it's fine. You know, a woman, even if they can't have a child, they just can't get over it. But if you hear it all the time at the dinner, which takes an hour, and if you hear it 2 days in a row, it can make you a little bit like, okay, it's uncomfortable. But I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't aware of that person was kind of like talking to me wrongly or anything. I was just feeling weird after the dinner, because he even started on top of it, I'm from Philippines and I grew up in poverty and extra tip would be amazing, you know, and we didn't have anything to eat, you know, for months, and I have 3 kids and I have to work and I don't sleep on this cruise. I felt super bad about that. I felt so sad and bad, and I'm supposed to be on my cruise, which I paid. And of course, if you go to a restaurant, you pay for food, you pay for service, and you don't want to hear stories of sadness and of these things, because you have your stuff to deal with, and you are in that case you are allowed to have some relief from your things, your hard times in your life. And so I started to kind of like behave weirdly, like a little child, Hey, let's not go for dinner tonight. Oh, I feel tired, I got my period, I don't go for dinner, and I started to avoid dinners to go there. I didn't know subconsciously that I am very heavily disrespected. I just did it my whole life, that I just stopped contacting people who disrespect me. I don't go to places where I am very obviously disrespected, but I never knew that it's a disrespect. And that's something what I learned because of this man who we met, with this older guy who taught us actually how it should look like, when people are behaving nicely to each other. And we thought we are already nice, but we are so nice that people don't behave nicely to us, because they go all over us. They just walk on our heads then. So, and that's what we do in Europe. We have a certain level of politeness, and in Europe we respect that, but not in all countries in the whole world it's respected this way, right?
We don't cross certain borders.
Yeah,
conversation.
In conversations we just don't cross certain borders. Yeah, so that was a bit awkward, but I thought those people are from different countries, so they have different manners. But we met a lot of other people from the same country, and they don't have these manners. So we can apologize it for, he grew up like this, he grew up in some village or whatever, and we can still be apologizing other people for behaving to us rudely. And it's not okay. We have to now, when there's crossed certain line towards us, we really have to stand up for ourselves. Because it made me later very angry. Mm-hmm. I was so angry today because, I was like, oh my gosh, that's why I took you yesterday or a day before, and we compared two restaurants. In one restaurant we sat with our friend, where we had amazing dinner, amazing service, amazing behavior from the staff and so on. But in our restaurant I didn't feel good, and I didn't know why. I'm like, the food is not that good, and it's the same food, and the environment is not that good, and I'm not person people that much. I am not really needing to be outside sitting with people all the time. I also like our privacy. But I really took him, I held his hand, Raphael's hand, and we were walking in
one. It was really strange.
In one restaurant, and I said, hey, let's feel the vibes in this restaurant and that restaurant, and I really wanted him to feel the vibes, and I wanted him to say, hey, the vibes in the restaurants downstairs are better. And I didn't know why, and now I know why, because I was disrespected. It made me super angry because I didn't stand up for myself, I didn't see it, and he didn't stand up for myself as my man. And it's very thin line. And then I was just angry, and we argued a little bit, like we had a little argument, because we didn't see each other through the anger, right, through the shield of anger. And so I said, okay, so now I see you like this and see me like this, and we are talking through the anger, we don't see each other. So we just laughed at it, and then we really solved it, and that's why we are making this video.
The question is, how do we react when we have this situation anymore? Because first of all, we need to recognize that we are being disrespected, or that we don't feel comfortable with a certain behavior,
and we don't really particularly hunt for it. You go for dinner and say, oh yeah, I'll get food and I'll be observing everybody if they disrespect me, No.
We might do that when we notice that we have not been standing up for ourselves. Mm-hmm. But often we don't even notice. We are just being nice, and we just let people say whatever they want, and we let them to step all over our heads, and it's okay, and they're just like this, and we don't even notice what's happening, like Petra said. And now we understand. Now we had the perspective change because we were talking to our new friend, and he's so clear, and he was also showing us how to do it. because he said he's always being reasonable. He doesn't ask for anything unreasonable. He's also doing it in a friendly way, because first, when I think back of a situation where I could have spoken up much sooner, or somebody was really disrespectful towards my woman, then I think, okay, how should I react now? I'm full of anger, and I have to go to that person, and I have to tell them how shitty they behave, and I have to get really loud.
And then the anger speaks and the person is not there, and it's unreasonable, super angry, and it doesn't solve anything.
They don't take you seriously as well.
And it's also, I was thinking also about the women which are now shaving their heads and screaming in the videos. You'll never be taken seriously. It's not going to do anything. You're shaving your head, and
we see this now after Trump was elected.
Yeah.
And it was really a good example, because those women feel that they're disrespected in certain situations from certain people.
Yes.
Often it's men, because we all humans, we play this game when whether we are working or we are a customer somewhere. We see, okay, how far can we go with this person? We had, for example, a really dirty couch here in our room. It was really disgusting.
Extremely disgusting.
We didn't want to sit on it. We put a towel over it. We didn't think that we could maybe tell them to clean it. Didn't think that would be possible to clean a couch. But when one of the housekeeping managers was in our room to fix something, he was asking her if everything is okay. And Petra said, you know what, if the couch could be cleaned, that would be really cool. And all of a sudden it was possible to remove the sheets from that couch. And the housekeeper was later mad at us that we told his manager, because the manager said, why didn't you do it before? And I was apologizing to the guy, no, we didn't want you to have any troubles. But what the heck? He has been here every day.
I said it. Right?
Yeah, he has been here every day. Why doesn't he just clean that couch by himself? Why do we have to tell him?
Yeah, I said it to Raphael. Hey, if I would be a professional cleaner and I would be getting money for it, I would see the stains on the couch, and I would see really dirty handles on the couch, and I would definitely want to clean it, because that would be my job, right?
And that's
and he was mad that we said it to manager, because if you have a cleaner coming into the room and it never happens anything with a couch, then you assume that it's not possible to be clean.
Exactly,
right?
And that's what most people do. Most people don't say anything, and he's just assuming or just checking the waters. That's what I'm trying to say. He's just checking the waters. Oh, okay, these people there, they don't really care. All right, so I have less work to do. I don't have to clean the couch. It's too much work anyway, so I'll just let it be dirty. I don't care if they don't say anything. But if you all of a sudden start to say something, people will know you. And people will remember, and they know, okay, these people need a different level of service.
And
pay the same price as other people, but we need a different level of service. It's worthiness.
Because sometimes when you are not in at work and you don't work hard, you can feel like what we feel when we don't work super hard and we generate money. You can feel like you don't really you're not really allowed to tell the people which you pay with your money that because you're feeling so lucky and you're feeling so blessed, then you should feel polite, and you should feel like respectful and very careful.
Oh, they have to clean our dirty room. No.
Yeah. And it's not true. It's not. We realized, I'm like saying at the dinner yesterday with Raphael, and I'm saying, hey, we really are feeling like we are actually almost probably get paid to be customers here. I don't know, because we are like super nice and so on. And no, we could be nice, but we could also be reasonable.
Yeah. So that's what we need to learn now, because the only reaction that I would know would be getting angry and scream at people.
Yeah. And it doesn't solve anything.
No, and so, okay, how can I learn to do it in a way that is friendly and clear?
Yeah.
Just say, hey, you know what? Here, you just cross a border. This is too much.
That's what I said to Raphael. What I would want from him is that when he sees something like happening, or you know, the man was saying to me at the dinner, you should have a child, you should have a child, have a child, you know, all the time, and he doesn't know what I'm going through, you know. And if he says it for 10th time, I was like, oh, I feel very awkward, you know. And next day again, you know, I said to everybody, you should have a child. Yeah, I know it's fun, and it's from the consciousness of the person who is having 3 kids, and it works and everything. And we don't have to always know everything. We don't have to. We consider too much in Europe or us about other people's feelings, but now we realize that sometimes it's over the border, and it's great to just tell them, hey, it's enough, you know. You don't mention this anymore, you know, or it's enough, and you would say it politely and assertively, and you just be clear. It doesn't have to be with any emotion of anger or anything. It would make me feel so safe and happy if my man would do this. And I said it to Raphael, hey, you would make me feel so safe with you. And that's what he's going to do next time, you know. He would do that. He wouldn't say it angrily or anything like that, but it would be really nice. And that's what women expect maybe from a man, when there is a man and also is like present in a situation. Also, we love to be taken care of. We love to be protected or supported. We can stand up for ourselves. We can fight for ourselves. We can do anything as women. But if there is a man next to us, it's so beautiful to get this support from a man, right? Mm-hmm. And also, if there is something happening to my partner and he's not aware of it, he's not present enough, then I tell him, and he can deal with it by himself, because it wouldn't be very making him feel very good if I stand up for you and say, don't talk to my man like this, you know.
Sometimes you just don't really realize it. I think the body realizes it, the body reacts, you have a change in emotion, but in the mind you just, no, it's okay.
In my body, it was like a strong, repelling situation to go for dinner. I really didn't want to have dinner. I didn't want to eat there. I didn't want to go into the restaurant to be with those people, and I did not know why. It was my child's body. The body just knows, and you don't know. And then I said to Raphael, you don't respect me enough, you know. These words were coming out of my mouth, you know.
And we couldn't really pinpoint where it was, where it's coming from.
And it's like a 10-day process, you know. It was a very small process, slow, subtle. You can't see it even. But then you meet somebody, and then it's like shining light on it, and it's like, oh my God, it's this, and you are just so happy to know it, and angry.
And approach, how to do it a good way, you know.
Yeah.
And Petra was mentioning the women who are coloring their hairs or shaving their heads now. They do it out of protest because they don't know any other way how to stand up for themselves, how to protect themselves when they're being disrespected. People still look at them and they're like, oh my gosh, this person
they
is
are
crazy.
Hysterical and stuff.
You know, they don't take them seriously. It is an animalistic thing that we do to still check the hierarchy of people. To see, is that person
able to protect me, stand up for me? Yeah.
And that's how they then choose how to treat you. And we are now in this time, and we are also preparing for our Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat. We want to tune into our future potential, and it has a lot to do with worthiness for us. And to be worthy, to be respected, to be worthy, to have the best service imaginable that we want, that we deserve, because we paid for this cruise.
Yeah, and I actually, Raphael is Swiss, and Swiss people are super polite, and they don't want to be in anybody's way. It's their customs, like, and us Czech people are also a little bit similar. But when I went to the restaurant with him, I chose my spot where I wanted to sit, or I when I didn't like the food, I just said it to the waiter, and he was so freaking out next to me. And I was very polite. I was never like insulting or anything. I was just communicating because I was working as a waitress on other side. So I knew that it's okay to just to say it. And he was.
I don't think it's necessarily a cultural thing, because there are also a lot of Swiss people that really speak up for themselves.
Okay.
But I know from my father that we live in a very small village, and it's super important to have good relationships with everybody. But it's not possible to be nice with 10,000 people equally. It's not possible to agree with them on every topic.
Yeah.
And he was so concerned when his doctor was not satisfied with what he was doing, or his neighbor that was having different opinion and was really mad at him. He was so concerned that somebody wouldn't like him, and that's something that I grew up with, Like,
it's
I
a
have
community,
to always have good relationship with everyone.
the community,
Yeah, and it's just not possible. You can't maintain the same good relationship with everyone. People are different.
Yes, and also we have to define ourselves more, so people are very clear about us and about you, and we are very nice people, but until the certain border, then I cut those people off and I never go to talk to them again, or I never go to that restaurant where I was not treated properly. But it's just, the world gets very small then.
Yeah, that's the old way, we just avoid those situations.
Yeah.
And sometimes we didn't even know why.
Yeah, I didn't know why. I didn't know why until today, because I couldn't even sleep after I realized that I am actually being disrespected as a woman, and I'm super free about this woman-men's thing, and I love men, and I worked with men, and they also made fun of me as a woman, and they put me down, and they made so much fun about it and stuff. But I really sometimes feel from certain men that they are disrespectful, and some men are just trying to be funny, and throw there a little tiny bit of that, but we can get over this. But here we really realize that it's not okay if you are in a restaurant or if you are in a public place and somebody else is doing this to you. And it's very amazing to be aware of this and to do something about it, not from the point of anger, but from a level of respect to myself. I want to feel good. I want to feel good, and it's feeling very uncomfortable for people to speak assertively. Assertively is not angry. No, there is no emotional charge when you speak assertively. You say how you want to have it, how you are. Please don't talk to me like this. Very politely, very gently, like with elegancy. And those people are like, oh, somebody broke my pattern. Somebody is speaking up for themselves. Oh, okay, I have to be more respectful. I have to be more careful about these people.
And that's what we get to practice now in this lifetime.
This is what we need to practice.
Do it, and this is really exciting that we have something that we can learn, that we can improve on, something new that we can practice and apply in the world.
And if you have a partner or somebody with you, it's amazingly building the relationship when somebody is just supporting you. Hey, please don't behave like this, or you may give to yourself feedback. Hey, honey, you have something on your face, or some really true, honest feedback, which is without emotional charge. Because if we don't deal with that, if we overlook that disrespect, we become, after we just go through life, we are so angry and we don't know even why, but we are disrespected. And these women, which are now shaving their heads really and being all woke and so on, they just want to be having security that somebody stands up for them, and it doesn't have but it has to be reasonable. Like, let's be honest, that it has to be reasonable.
Yeah, that's also very important.
Not nonsense stuff.
Yeah.
Not nonsense. Like, So we hope that we inspired you, because we are super inspired about this
and also
situation.
excited to learn this now, to now have a way how we can do it better.
And also, sometimes when I go to sleep and wake up, I have to really let go of that anger towards myself. Towards myself. So that's a big one, and this is going to make you much more abundant in your life.
Yes.
Because if we are sending clear signals of who we are to people, then they are not confused and they are having it clear in their head, in their mind. Oh, these people are sending this signal, you know, and I have to higher my energy,
increase my energy and increase my service or my standards.
Or I just have to put myself to the level of that. I can't treat them like a villager.
Yeah,
you know, I
don't
can't
speak down on that.
No. That's what happened, and I was
on the
like,
same level. And we also don't have to be above people. You know, we're all equal.
Yeah.
So we treat each other on an eye level. And if somebody thinks they can speak to us from up there, no.
Yeah, and it was always making me feel so mad when my mother's friend, she's like 64, and she always like is at work and she's like, I only have like a polite smile when somebody's bad to me. I'm like, why don't you just assertively like stand up for yourself, you know, just say it. So she started to do that, and she says her thing politely, and she says, I take my time, I think about it few days, I think about in my head how I'm going to do this, I rehearse it, I practice it, and then I say it to that person.